Okay, so we are back with none other than the match review to the North London derby. I've processed it now. It's over 24 hours. And I do think it was a game of two halves. It was a game where either one of the teams could have won it easily, judging by how the either halves went. But at the same time, the result does sort of balance out what the game looked like overall. Now, the first half, we did look dominant in a lot of the game, in a lot of the half. I mean, when Declan Rice come off, when Vieira come off, it did change the game. Now, there was a lot of hoo-ha before the game even started. I mean, the likes of Trossard being out along with Martinelli. No one saw that coming. You know, Martinelli was a given. It was sort of like a whim if he was going to start. Trossard, there was no news about him being out, you know. So obviously we had to play Jesus, it looks like, on the left, and Nketiah through the middle. So the starting lineup didn't even look great going into it, you know. I mean, other than that, there wasn't nothing really standout-ish in terms of the lineup. Havertz did sort of drop off to make way for Vieira. And it made sense because Vieira looked like he was the sort of player to go into this game to sort of help dictate the play. Didn't work out that way. You know, Maddison looked like he kept him quiet. Basuma, bro, bloody hell, what a great game he had. Now, before we get into it, of course, we are going to look at the teams and the lineups. Now, this whole palaver with Raya and Ramsdale. Personally, I think Raya is a better keeper overall, but I feel like Ramsdale is not far behind. You know, on his day, Ramsdale is a great keeper. Great keeper. Should be England's number one, in my opinion. But David Raya, I feel like he's a step above in terms of, on his day as well, his distribution, his commanding of the box, his sort of dropping off and coming forward for the ball, and his positioning. Now, Ramsdale doesn't have that in his game. Like, his distribution is great, but I feel like Raya, when he pulls it off, is a level above. And it looks like he's in favour right now in terms of Arteta's preferred goalkeeper. Now, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko at the back didn't have to do too much, but they were carved open when they were against pressure. Like, Gabriel, a few times, bro, his positioning, especially with Son playing a number 9, he was just getting in between and round the back of Gabriel and Zinchenko. He didn't have too much luck against Saliba, but he knows who to exploit and was probably told and went through so much to target Gabriel in and behind and stuff like that. Martin Odegaard, you absolute plonker. I love you to death, bro, but he didn't have a great game. And I say plonker, I have to talk about it, bro. I have to get it off my chest. FPL. I mention this near enough every match or every video. I don't know why. I think it was the Champions League game and how Odegaard played. Him getting a new contract gassed me. So I took out Son and put in Odegaard. And for those who play FPL, I took a -4 hit for that transaction, yeah? Son obviously goes on to score 2 goals, gets 3 bonus, I think it is, or 2 bonus. And then Odegaard gets a yellow card, ends up on 1 point. Now, I just have to get that in there. Now, I'm fuming. I am very much angry about it. I'm not over it yet. I think I'm more upset about that than 2-2 draw. But anyway, just had to get that out there. Declan Rice and Fabio Vieira both come off at half time, and they had a good game. Declan Rice was okay. He was cutting out a lot of play. He was getting in the right positions and helping out in the defensive part of the game. Fabio Vieira didn't have a great game. He did not have a great game. Like, he looked like he was getting bullied. A lot of tough tackling on him. Maddison was running the battle in that sense. And yeah, Maddison got the 2 assists, so that kind of shows. Saka, he did all right. I think the first half was more his thing. Udogie obviously got a yellow card because of how he was driving at him. He was causing him absolute, chaos. But then Saka towards the end, and it could be a, fatigue. Like, Martin Odegaard, I can't be too mad. He played the whole game in the Champions League. And I don't know why. But look, it's one of them things, man. We'll talk about squad depth in a minute, but we'll just go through the rest of the lineup. Eddie Nketiah didn't have the best game. didn't have the best game. Could have easily got a red card for that tackle on Vicario. Is that his name? Vicario. But I think that was out of frustration. He didn't have no luck at all, and he didn't really look like he caused a threat. Jesus had a couple chances where he should have buried, man. The moment when he pressed Maddison, lost the ball in the box, I think it was, in the box. He shot over the bar. Gutting, man, gutting. But yeah, look, Smith Rowe come on too late. I feel he should have come on a lot earlier. Nelson should have come on a lot earlier to add that energy, that directness. And you know, I love Nelson. Like, I really feel like he's not used a lot. And I think we have to balance him with Saka. You know, Champions League. Why didn't you? Anyway, I'm not going into it. It's all hindsight, innit? It's all what ifs and maybes. But Jorginho coming on for half time. Obviously for Declan Rice, him giving the ball away for the second goal, the equaliser. I'm not going to hold it too much against him, you know, like he's been our rock. When we've had to see out games and calm down games, he's been the guy. Now, to play a whole half at this level, this intensity, this pace, in that position, is asking a lot, you know. There's a reason why we have Partey and Declan Rice. And Jorginho, he's not as agile, he's not as mobile, his passing is 10-10. I can't fault his passing. And his personality is great. Havertz coming on at halftime as well. When they both come on, I was watching it with my mates and I was just like, we all just looked like, oh no. Oh no. But it is what it is, man. I mean, this game, for us anyway, it was screaming out for a Xhaka. If Xhaka played this game instead of Vieira and Havertz, we would have won this game. We would have put this game to bed in the first half. But look, it is what it is. You can't sort of like predict these injuries, you know, the likes of Timber. Who else we're missing? We're missing quite a lot, like attacking wise as well, you know. Trossard, Martinelli, Partey. Like, when you lose all these players, it's hard to sort of go on to say, oh, we could have won it, we could have done it, because that's football, isn't it? Tottenham are missing Bentancur, you know, the likes of City are missing 5 or 6 key players, but it's all squad depth. You have to adapt. Why did you let go of Xhaka when we didn't get anyone else in that position? This is what we were worried about. Letting go of the likes of Xhaka and not getting anyone else in. And if we let go of Partey, who knows? But yeah, hopefully the injuries are not too bad for Rice. Apparently it's a back thing. He didn't feel comfortable. So that's why they took him off. Hopefully it's a precaution. Hopefully Partey's back quicker than stated before. I think it was the international break towards the end of this coming one in October. Obviously, Martinelli's in contention for the next game. Trossard, who knows what's going on with him. Man, just hopefully we can see it out against Bournemouth with, you know, couple players that don't look like they're starters. I know Smith Rowe can come in, you know, Nelson can easily drop in there as well, but let's see. Romero, it was an own goal. I don't know if it was on target though, that's the thing, because it was given as an own goal, but if it was on target, obviously it would have been a Saka goal, and an Odegaard, it would have been an assist for my guy on my FPL. But anyway, the penalty, it is a tough one. It is one of those things, by the law, it's a penalty. And it is a penalty because when they talk about your body or your hands being in an unnatural position, that's exactly what it was. His arms are not like that. His arms are like that. And that is exactly a stonewall penalty, in my opinion. The law is the law, you know. And as soon as we said it, as soon as the referee went to go and view it on VAR, we called it. We said it was a penalty. And yeah, Saka pulled it away. Bit nervous because I thought Odegaard was going to take it. And for my FPL, he should have taken it and he should have scored. But anyway, look, Saka got it. Cool as you like, down the middle. Waited for Vicario to make a move. And then he scored. So it was great. It was a great penalty. Flipping like a minute later, Tottenham scored an equaliser from Jorginho getting pressed by Maddison. Son killing us 2 goals. He does what he does best, man. Him and Kane are notoriously known for getting goals against us, and he doesn't look like he's slowed down anytime soon. Maddison, I love that boy, man. Like, Maddison is one player I would have taken over Havertz all day, every day. And we were in contention with him, with the likes of Odegaard. Now, I am glad we went for Odegaard overall, but I mean, it would have made so much sense to go for Maddison instead of Havertz for less money as well. But I guess they're too similar, Odegaard and Maddison, you know, and I feel like maybe the balance of the team wouldn't have been what Arteta was looking for. I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, Maddison 2 assists, sort of dictated the play. Basuma sort of nullifying Odegaard and keeping him very quiet. He looked like the Basuma from Brighton, and he done very well. So yeah, 2-2. And I think it's about time we look at the stats, because it was more the second half for Tottenham's dominance, and they could have easily won it at the end, you know, when you think about it. I think when Maddison and Son come off, it was kind of like a sigh of relief of like, oh, yes. Okay, now, like, Richarlison coming on didn't really pose a threat. And we looked like we could have nicked it too. So it could have went either way in the end, you know. So yeah, match stats, possession-wise, they had more. Looking at it overall, they had 53.5. We had 46.5. Total shots, it was equal, 13 apiece. On target, we had 6. They had 5. Off target, 4 apiece. Blocked, they had 4. We had 3. Passing percentage completion, they had 85.7. And then we had 84.1. So their passing was a bit better. They had better clear-cut chances as well. They had 3, we had 1. We had a lot more corners, 11-4. Offsides, they had 3, we had 2. Tackles, 1. Percentage-wise, they had 53.6. We had 50%. Aerial duels, we were very good, 63.6. And they had 36.4. We did dominate in that sense. They had 4 saves, we had 3. Fouls committed, they committed a lot of fouls. And I do think Romero and Udogie should have been sent off, but it is what it is, man. They had 19, we had 12. Fouls 1, we had 18, they had 11. They had 4 yellow cards, we had 3. And then no red cards, to my surprise. Now, if we look at the game overall, I think both fans will be happy with a point. Like, everyone kind of expected Arsenal, myself included, to walk Tottenham, you know, to take them to the cleaners and whack them like 3-0, 2-1, 2-0, whatever it was. Man, it's just the injuries that it's an annoying part of football. And when it's in your favour, you know, because the likes of Rodri is now suspended for City, we don't really have to face him. But then he's got other players that can come in. You know, Pep, he's a genius. Pep is a genius. He's signing players, and I'm going off in a tangent, but he's signing players that can play like 5 or 10 different positions. You know, so when Rodri is out suspended, he can bring in someone else, a Nunez or whoever, you know. But with Arsenal, I feel like from the squad we had last season, we should have built on it, you know. Xhaka should have stayed. Even if he's not starting, he should be able to fit into this system and rotate, you know. But I don't know what happens when a player wants to play all the time. You can't blame him, you know. We've got a Vieira to put up with, Havertz to put up with. Not saying they're bad players, but the way Xhaka made that role his own, we should have kept on to him. And I know Partey and Rice, if they were both fit, they'd probably do that as well. They'd rotate, double pivot, you know. It's frustrating. I mean, if we had a full squad, if they had a full squad, we would have easily beat them. But like I said, if my aunt had a, you know what, she'd be my uncle. It is what it is. What ifs and maybes, man. But look, I'm not mad looking back at it now. Yes, we should have won on paper. We should have won at home. We normally do win. But looking back at the whole game now, I think it's a point gained because they could have won that game. If Son and Maddison stayed on, you know, and because of our injuries to Rice, it's frustrating, man. But it is what it is. Hopefully we bounce back against Bournemouth. I will be doing a match preview to that. And yeah, we can't, it's too early to say, you know. It's too early to say. Tottenham, we're like this old Ange Ball thing, the whole thing of, he's got a great philosophy. He's got some great players there. But even for them, you'd argue that Tottenham fans feel like they didn't see it coming. You could say they're overachieving at the moment, but the manager's looking good. He's a likable guy. He's instilling a sort of like philosophy there. You know, the likes of Maddison and Son. But if they get a couple injuries, believe me, they're going to struggle too, you know. But I'm going to leave the video here. Do you think Arsenal or Spurs should have won this game? Do you think a point is a fair point? And yeah, anything else you noticed, leave it all down below. And until the next episode, take care.